Hey you guys, this is my first ever YouTube video. Um Today I just kind of wanted to make this video to talk to you guys about living with a heart condition and also living with severe anxiety on top of that. Now, I actually just found out that I have a heart condition. And this was something that I was born with, and I literally am just now finding out because it's just now starting to affect me. And what I have is called an atrial septal defect. Now, by the grace of God, this is something that can be cured and fixed, but it has to be done like immediately. And I literally just found out that this is exactly what I have like last week. I went through multiple procedures back to back, and it was just a lot. I've been out of work for like almost a month now, a month without making any money. And it was just a lot. It was a long experience, and it was a very emotional experience as well, because when doctors are trying to figure out what's wrong with you, they tend to guess. They and it's not it's an educated guess. It's an educated guess, and they tend to continuously, from what your symptoms are showing, from what your x-rays or whatever tests or scans you get, they tend to try to make educated guesses. And so I had a doctor tell me that I had this disease called pulmonary hypertension, which is deadly. You are given a life expectancy if you have that. He told me that, and then I had a procedure, and they was like, "That's not it." Um, and then I had another procedure, and that's when they actually found out that it was an atrial septal defect, which is a hole in my heart. And so, again, this was something that I was born with. And I asked the doctor, I'm like, growing up, why was this never detected before? And basically, it's just different for everybody. Like, some people, you can catch it immediately. You get a heart murmur. Some people catch it like right on. Some people live most of their life with it and not even know that they have it. People can live up to like 60 or 70 before they finally even start having the actual symptoms and realize that they have it. So with me being as young as I am, it was good that I caught it so early on, because if you were like 60 or 70, you're probably gonna die. Yeah, I found out that I had this hole in my heart. It can be cured, God bless. But it was a very hard experience for me. And also, I have extreme anxiety. Like, I literally take medication for anxiety. So, having all of this going on, it was just too much for me. And I literally was having like back to back nonstop mental breakdowns, like literally on the regular. And I'm such the type of person, let me know in the comments down below if you guys are like this too. I am literally the person who self-diagnoses herself 24/7. Any type of pain, any type of abnormality, anything. I'm like, I'm dying. The world's coming to an end. I have cancer. Like, I am literally that person who self-diagnoses herself on a regular basis. So it took, throughout this entire journey, it took so long for me to get answers. It took so long for me to get answers. And because I was constantly seeing doctors and going to hospitals back to back to back, with everybody just giving their educated opinions and educated guesses. So it took so long for me to finally get answers. And the procedures themselves were super uncomfortable, super annoying. I had one procedure called a cardiac catheterization, and that was when the doctors found out actually that I do not have pulmonary hypertension. God bless. That was when they found out that I do not have pulmonary hypertension. And that procedure is basically like, they stick a catheter, which is basically a tube. They stick it up your groin, which is very uncomfortable. It's like around the hood of your vagina, like your upper thigh. They stick it up your groin, and they get in there. They get in there, and it's like a little camera at the end of it, and they can like basically scope around and just see what it's looking like, so they can try to figure out why I had pulmonary hypertension. So during that procedure, the doctor, he was like, everything looks fine. He was like, your lung pressures, everything looks fine. He was like, pulmonary hypertension is not what you have. And I was just so thankful. And he was the person who actually came up with the educated guess that I had a hole in my heart. So then after that, I had another procedure called a TEE. I don't know what the fuck that stands for. They basically like put you to sleep, and they put a camera down your throat. Like it's basically another little tube with a camera at the end, and they put it down your throat, and they, scope out your heart area. So they can look for this hole that they believed I had. And all I really genuinely remember from this procedure, because I did fall asleep, all I really remember from this procedure was this nasty ass medicine that I had to gargle because I had to get my throat numb. They had to get my throat numb, so I had to gargle this nasty ass medicine for like over a minute. I thought I was gonna throw it. Then I had to swallow it. I literally thought I was gonna throw up. It was the nastiest shit I've ever experienced in my entire fucking life. Did I ever drink some water and it just hit? I fell asleep, and then I just remember waking up. And there was like one nurse still in the room, and I asked her, I was like, so do I have a hole in my heart? And she was like, yes. Like, she said it very certainly. She was like, yes, you do. So I'm like, okay. So then after that, I had to do a follow-up appointment. This all happened like last week. I had to do a follow-up appointment, and the doctor who's going to be performing my upcoming procedure, he was the one who really explained to me what an atrial septal defect was and how it works and how it was causing my heart to enlarge. And overall, all of this can, if it's not taken care of, it can lead to, it can definitely lead to pulmonary hypertension, and it could also lead to heart failure and so many other things as well. So he was like, it needs to be closed. And sometimes if you have an atrial septal defect, sometimes it doesn't have to be closed. It depending on how big the hole is and how it affects you, sometimes they won't do anything to it. But I guess mine is a significant hole, and it does affect me on a regular basis because I literally can never breathe. I just feel fucking horrible all the time. So they are going to go ahead and close it up. Now, throughout this whole experience, I was told that aside from being told that I had pulmonary hypertension, I was told that I had a blood clot on the lung and all types of crazy shit that wasn't the case. I literally went through a CT scan, and if you don't know what a CT scan is, I basically had to go through like this tube thing. I had to like lay flat and like go through this thing. I'm sorry, I'm like the worst at explaining shit. It's basically just a way for them to detect, to like basically just scan your entire body to see if they can find any blood clots. I didn't have any blood clots. God bless. But through my blood work, I also found out that I am extremely anemic. I'm vitamin D deficient and vitamin B12 deficient. So overall, aside from having a heart condition, I'm a very, very weak, very tired, and very fragile person. So that was great. But yeah, it was literally just it was like this whole experience has literally been a fucking roller coaster, like just nonstop ups and downs. And with me having anxiety, it just makes it worse because I literally tell myself, I am such a overthinker and an over worrier. Like I said, I self-diagnose myself all the time. I literally like just am always in my head, and I always go towards the worst case scenarios possible, and I tell myself that that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally kind of torture myself with all the most negative thoughts 24/7, and it's like I just can't even get out of my own head. And it's very frustrating. And this all was starting because I was having like continuous panic attacks. Like back to back, I was having just a shit ton of panic attacks like on a regular basis. And that was really what caught my attention to me knowing that there was something going on with me, because it was just becoming an issue. And I would literally be at work, and I work at a factory. I would be at work and I would be like falling over practically, like feeling dizzy, feeling lightheaded out of nowhere. It would only last for so long, but still, it was not normal, and it happened like every day. So I knew then that there was something wrong. And it's just hard. It's a hard thing to have to go through. It really is. And I'm just so thankful to God that I have the support system that I have, and that I have my mom and my sister, my brother, my boyfriend. I have my friends. Like, I have a really good support system right now. It's not a lot of people, but it's like them real ride or dies, you know? So I'm just so thankful for that, because it's been the most stressful and just draining experience that I've ever been through in my entire life. And I feel so sorry for all the people who have health conditions that aren't curable. You know what I'm saying? Because I, for a moment, was believing that that was me, and I literally cried nonstop. I cried nonstop. I didn't know what to do with myself, and I was just a complete emotional wreck. I am getting another procedure this upcoming Monday. Basically, it's basically just like the cardiac catheterization. Instead of sticking up one tube up one groin, they're going to be sticking up two separate tubes up both of my groins, so on my left side and my right side. I'm not going to be able to fucking walk for like an entire day. Through that, they're going to basically just close up the hole. They're going to patch it up, and over time, my heart cells should cover it and should basically just grow into my heart. So it should heal itself really over time. And then my doctor also said that I should feel like an immediate difference when I am done. And it's going to take like all day. It's going to be like an all day process. I'm so not ready, so not in the mood, but I'm ready to be back healthy. And I feel like this whole experience definitely made me appreciate my health so much more. I feel like we all go through our everyday lives, and we have shit to do. We have kids, we have school, we have work, we have shit to do. So we're not constantly sitting down and thinking about our mental health, or if our lungs are working properly, or anything like that. Nobody sits around and really thinks about that stuff, because we're busy. We have lives. And so I just feel like this whole experience, honestly, it made me so much more appreciative and thankful for my heart even beating as long as it has. I'm 21 now, so to have this defect in my heart this entire time, I'm thankful that I've been giving life this entire time. I'm thankful to the fact that my lungs are working, that all the little stuff that we take for granted on a regular basis, this whole experience has just made me so thankful for. And even your mental health, people don't stop to ever really think about mental health and how important it actually is. Like, it's so overlooked. It blows my mind. Nobody really stops to think about how important it is, and to make sure that you are okay, that you're just taking care of yourself. Like, it's a big deal, because you just never know what's gonna happen. You never know when you're gonna wake up and just feel off, and then you're gonna go to the doctor and they tell you that you have whatever fucked up disease and your life is ending in 5 years. You just never know what's going to happen. So I just want everybody to just take care of yourselves, please, for the love of God. Take care of yourself, kids. Even everybody around me can tell that I'm drained. Like, they look at me. My mom was probably the last person to really notice it, because she sees me every day. But my friends, my coworkers, people that I don't see all the time, they see me at work or just, out, and they'd be like, you look tired. Like, I could tell them what's going on, and they're like, yeah, you don't even look normal. You look tired. You look drained. You look just washed out. And I hated hearing that, because I felt like as long as I was sick, it was killing me. But at the same time, I didn't want to look I didn't want to look like I was dying, you know. I still wanted to look good, you know, because you know, fake it till you make it, honey. So I didn't want to look bad, and so to hear that I actually was looking drained and that I actually did look tired, it just made me feel even worse, because now I'm like, it's showing through on my physical appearance. Like, I don't even know if I look like this all the time. You feel me? It was just a lot, and I just really hope that people take better care of themselves. I never would have imagined that I'd be going through what I'm going through now, and it took so long to find out what was going on and to live with this anxiety, literally feeling like I'm dying every day. Like, that's what I thought it was. I literally thought that I was dying every single day. And I take medication for anxiety. I take Zoloft as like a long-term medication, just to kind of like get it in my system so I can overall feel better. And I take Xanax. It's prescribed. I take Xanax when I'm having panic attacks, just to calm me down in that moment. But I haven't gotten panic attacks as much recently, God bless, because they are the worst things on earth. But overall, definitely very draining, very tiring. And I don't even see how people live through this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been struggling so much this entire time, and I just felt like it was time for me to make a YouTube video, because I know that there are other people who go through these things as well. There are other people who have abnormalities or birth defects or whatever, and they're living a hard life, and they may have, their mental health may not be the best as well. And I just wanted to make this video and this channel to raise awareness, first off, and to also be a voice and be a support system for people who don't feel like they have that, for people who feel like it's overlooked, especially, not to bring race into it or anything, but especially in the Black community. It is very hard to live with any type of mental disorder or disability, because we can be very hard on each other. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about. We can be very hard on each other, and we don't take it serious, especially in the Black community. We do not take it serious. It gets very overlooked. So I just really wanted to be that voice and that support system for people. And I just want people to know that you can get through it, that we can all get through it, and that it'll be okay, that there is light at the end of the tunnel, that God is real. We will get through it. And I do plan on taking you guys with me to my procedures and just keeping you updated and just keeping everything very transparent and letting you guys know exactly what the tea is, what's going on, how you can still thrive in life no matter what you're going through, and just continue to be that bitch. So if you guys would like to follow my journey and just listen to all my crazy life stories that I go through on a regular basis, and my journey with mental health and so on and so forth, then hit that subscribe button, and I will be talking to you guys later.